If women likes receiving flowers, what is its equivalent for men? I can't speak for other women, but I actually dislike receiving flowers. They are a lot of upkeep. If you don't want them to immediately wilt and die, water changes, additives, etc., and they're incredibly expensive. I'd much rather get a house plant, even if it's one that I already have multiple of. Are a dude, at least in the dudes in my circle, receiving snacks, video games when it was still in cartridge or CD form, or a nice home-cooked meal would be a good equivalent to giving a woman flowers. Although in more intimate relationships, certain sexual activities might also work. I like to be a gentleman and respect women, but at the same time maintain self-respect. I never explicitly mentioned that being a gentleman is one of my core values, and it means a lot when someone recognizes it. Recently, I kept the door open for an old lady, and she said it is rare to come across such a gentleman. I often hear how women are still not respected enough in society. But there are many respectful men, and I believe it means a lot to them if someone recognizes their random acts of kindness. My boyfriend asked me this once after having a rough week and said I want flowers, but not flowers. So I give him flowers, not flowers, gifts as little, I love yours, a sub from his favorite spot, Dutch Brothers, painting a few Warhammer minis for him. For example, his most recent flowers, not flowers, was tiny Gengar Lego kit. He actually loved the wrapping more than the Gengar, though he adores Gengar. He just really loved that I wrote in curly, cute font, flowers, not flowers, on the package. My wife does this thing where she makes a point simply to make physical contact on a regular basis. I know she does it on purpose because it came up once. It works. She just walk over and start touching my chest while we're talking, or come over and hug me in the middle of the day. Men need to feel appreciated as women do. We just don't usually ask for it explicitly. It is literally a life hack for women to understand what my wife figured out after 7 years of marriage. For Valentine's Day, my now ex-partner bought me a panda holding a heart like a month in advance. He would buy me flowers and surprise me sometimes, and it melted my heart. One day, that's not common for men, so again, back to Valentine's Day, I went to Walmart and bought a basket and bought him his favorite candy. A candle I knew he'd love. A Valentine's teddy bear act. He picked me up for a date night. I surprised him with it, and I swear he almost cried. Maybe it's just me, but most dates I go on, first date to committed relationship, I plan them. And we do either something we both enjoy or something I know she enjoys and I'll go along with because I know it will make her happy. Every time a woman has planned and asked me out on a date, my heart beats a little faster. And if it's something she knows I'll love, even if she won't particularly enjoy it, and she's just happy to spend the time with me, it's so rare. I surprised my boyfriend with a rose one time, and he smiled bigger than I've ever seen him smile. The look in his eyes made me so happy. It was like a look of just love and bliss. He told me no girl had ever gotten him a flower, and I could see it in his face, and how he reacted after that. It meant the world to him. Men just need to feel loved and important just like women. He's a very, very masculine man, BTW. A woman should be a man's soft place, comfort. Ely are a lot more meaningful for us, and it is for them. Mostly cause we just don't get flowers. Like, I still remember a flower a family friend gave to me years ago. Even though she gave one to everyone. Why short? If you want to make a guy feel good, buy him even a single flower, just him, not multiple people, and go and give it to him. Trust me, he will cherish that moment even years after it happened. Stay with me here. But a sandwich, not just any sandwich. A serious fucking sandwich. Toasted cheese bread, bacon, German salami, honey ham, sharp cheddar cheese, fresh tomatoes, pickles, salt and pepper, good mustard, Miracle Whip, and a couple handfuls of plain chips. That is the way to a man's heart. And I'm not joking. Bring him that shit after a hard day, with a cold beer, and he may or may not tear up. Not male, but from experience, Give them something that says I listen when you talk about your interests. For example, if your BF husband likes video games, then maybe a new controller or a new game. It could be things that are thoughtful, like talking their car to get washed or cleaning the inside of it, even bringing home lunch from their favorite place to eat or snacks they like. I'll get straight to the point. Alcohol like whiskey, not cheap beer. Cigars if they smoke. Socks are universal. Whatever you do not get us flowers, contrary to what some people on the internet might make you think. The vast majority would take it as a bad gesture. Only give them if you really know that person, or they got a hobby like gardening. D-school mixtape or a modern playlist for those not stuck in the 90s like me, of songs that remind you of them, or songs you think they'd like, really shows you've put thought into something personal. It's a piece of you that they can take with them wherever they go. Oh dude, being told I'm a good man. We don't get a lot of compliments, and our validation comes from being a provider, which, while not necessarily thankless, isn't an exciting gesture that gets a lot of recognition. I will carry that around with me for weeks, and I'll strive harder to be that good man. Friendly reminder: the only time most men receive flowers is at their funeral. Ladies, if you want a man to be emotionally available, then treat him like it and get him flowers, candy, whatever. It's so easy. The world will not tend to his emotions, but you can and should if you care about him. Something that took some thought. Some dudes would be friggin' stoked to get a jersey of their favorite team. Others would love to have a gift of a record of their favorite band. Others just want a hug and a back rub. Seriously, we don't get physical affection often enough. A compliment, simple. It almost never happens. For me, I usually get compliments from extremely sexually aggressive gay men. Apparently I vibe. I've had my ass grabbed by older women at bars too. That's not cool. If I did that shit, I'd be on the news and then the registry. Also flowers, I've made the decision that my next partner will get flowers every chance I get. When I first read that most men receive their first flower SR at their funerals, that's when I decided I won't let that continue if I can help it. I buy my partner flowers regularly. I'm 25F and he is 30M. The reason I started doing this is because I read somewhere that men only get flowers at their funeral, and it broke my heart. He loves them and it makes his day when he gets them. SE. Or a tulip that can have a bigger message. The only thing that's that much different is that women get flowers all the time, but men don't get compliments. But when we do, we think about it a lot. I'm going to get my man a bouquet of beef jerky on his birthday. This makes him sound like a meathead. He is far from it, haha. I don't eat red meat, and he adapted his diet to me when we moved in together. Jerky is his favorite treat. I'm a woman, so I have no say, lol. But I've noticed my boyfriend explodes with so much love whenever I get him gifts from shows, games he likes. Even little things like posters or figures. It's so cute seeing him smile. Food, like any kind that's tasty, homemade, and effort is a bonus and deserves a ring. Like that one lady did her husband. Grew or bought cocoa and made chocolate the actual natural way and made chocolate brownies. Depends on the man. My dad liked a new shirt. Or something else he liked. Maybe a golf club or something. A BF husband should get something well thought out. Maybe jewelry, and a night out for dinner, etc. My ex took the roses I gave her once they were wilting and cut them up and placed them in a glass sphere trinket about the size of a quarter with some water and gold flakes and sealed it. It was really cool. I have a bad memory. Hardly remember what I did. What was the conversation a few minutes back? The only thing I remember is seeing my girl smile. That is definitely equivalent to receiving flowers for me. Yeah, I always get my now fiancé flowers randomly because I don't want the first time he receives flowers being when he's dead. I've done it for my dad's once too. They said once was enough though, lol. Flowers. Men like flowers too. It's about the attention. We're just big dumb dogs sometimes and just want to be praised and told we did a good job. Some heavy petting being involved is a plus too. Depends on the guy. But it ranges from making him a special meal or doing something he thinks is cool or buying him something he wants. or won't waste money on it. Or sometimes just a good OBJ. Lego. We all like Lego. It's nostalgic for us. And when given by a significant other, it is like we are getting permission to act like a kid again instead of faking that we are good at adulting. I buy my husband bourbon or his favorite candy. I actually secretly imported his childhood favorite candy that isn't sold in the country we are living in. Got a whole case. He was pretty happy. I really had to think for something, but for me, my wife banning an extended date night or maybe come up with an idea for a weekend getaway. Something thought up for meaningful one-on-one time. I bought him flowers and a 6-pack of his favorite beer the first time I went to his place. Men don't get enough flowers. I think it's a sweet gesture that everyone should get to experience. I'm an avid gardener and love flowers, so flowers for me. My partner actually just got me a nice bouquet for our anniversary and I loved it. I love the smell of fresh flowers in our house. None really. She usually would take twice the time to get ready for the date. Maybe get nails, hair done. Buy something to wear that night. So for me, that Esther gift, she is something that you actually buy, not anything physical. Right? Then sandwiches. If my wife brought me a French dip sandwich for no reason, then I would know that she loved me. Flowers. Once you have a woman give you flowers as a dude, you realize they have a way of providing joy. Then they die but for those few days. It's great. People like receiving flowers. Is it the flowers themselves, or the fact that someone goes out of their way to fetch and give something that takes effort?